On this week's episode, we chat about the new sessions feature on the Peloton Tread.
And I get to chat with Gareth Jones in Pelo Chats and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, your unofficial resource for everything Peloton. By the community, for the community. Here are your hosts, Mark O'Rourke in the UK and Amanda Siegel in the US.
Welcome to episode 14 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show by the Peloton community for the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel and I'm joined by my co-host Mark O'Rourke. Mark, are you there?
I'm here, Amanda. How you doing? It's
I am good.
Winter's arrived in the UK, Amanda. We woke up to a frost this morning, the first frost of the year. So yeah.
Well, it's gorgeous here in the East Coast of the States. We have had a gorgeous weekend and the sun is shining and it's supposed to go right through till the middle of the week. So sorry, but it's really pretty here.
It looks beautiful in the background.
It is a sunny, beautiful day. Tell me, Mark, how was your week? You have a good week?
Yeah, week was good. Yeah, we did a few rides. Probably not as many as I wanted to. I've been quite busy, but yeah, all in all, Amanda, yeah, it's been a good week on the bike.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me too. I actually took a couple days off last week and geared myself up and ready for Tour de Leanne, which we had on Saturday, and my legs are still a little sore, but you know what? Goes with the territory. It was so much fun and so exciting to see so many folks on the leaderboard, and was something different, something I hadn't done before. I've done pyramids, which is about 80 minutes. This was just over 2 hours of riding.
It's the longest one.
See you on there.
Yeah, it's the longest ride I've ever done, Amanda. So yeah, it was fun. It was hard. And we promised not to push one another, didn't we? And we held to it.
We did. We absolutely did. It was definitely a different experience. And we'll talk a little bit more in the news about some exciting features that Peloton have rolled out, which we couldn't really use in the Tour de Leanne, just because of the way it was set up. But
Sure.
yeah, it was definitely a fun experience, and a good week all round. So yes, Mark, as we mentioned each week in our beginning episodes, before we get on with the news, we always like to let you folks know that in order for you guys to keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms, every episode, as well as breaking news, is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure you never miss an episode.
Yeah, and we're also on lots and lots of podcast platforms, Amanda, as I say it week after week. And again, I listened to our last week's episode this week, and it was great to listen to. And as I've said before, it's great to be able to focus on the sound rather than the picture. But yeah, both was good.
Agreed, Mark. Actually, I listened to it on the podcast this week too, as I was a little distracted on the premiere last week. But it was great to hear it. And as you say, it's definitely a different way of being able to listen to the episode. Of course, we're also on Facebook, on Instagram. We tell folks to just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on all of these platforms for all of the latest news. So, Mark, I guess it's time to get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
So, yet again, we have lots of news to report in the Peloton world. This past week, we saw Peloton launch a new beta feature called Sessions. Sessions allows one to join a pre-recorded on-demand class together with others, and like an encore class, it starts the clock counting at the same time for everyone with a fresh new leaderboard. One can either join an already set up session, or you can actually create your own session so that you can ride with friends at the same time. Mark, I really think that it's a really, really cool feature, and I really hope that they roll this out for good. So many of us do these swarm rides and these group rides, and one of the most frustrating things about that, right, is having everybody kind of ready as to when do we press start, so that everybody's at exactly the same at the same place. So I think this is going to be a really wonderful feature that that Peloton has rolled out. On Pelo Tips today, we will actually have our Pelo Buddy extraordinaire, Chris Lewis, give a demonstration on how to access the sessions on the bike. So for those of you that are interested, it really is a cool feature. And having Chris kind of walk us through, telling us exactly how to do it, is fantastic. Mark, did you jump on any sessions this past week?
Do you know what, Amanda? I haven't seen it work yet. I was going to experiment this morning and I didn't get a chance, but hopefully over the weekend and into next week, the rest of the weekend that we've got left and into next week, I'm sure I'm really looking forward to seeing it. It looks a great feature, and Chris Lewis does a great job of telling us how it all works. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out in the upcoming weeks. Well, it was a big week for John Foley. Tell us a little bit about that, Mark.
Yeah, in other news, Amanda, Peloton reported quarterly sales growth of 232%, exceeding the company's expectations. Consumers turned to the bikes and treadmills while they were out of work and working from home. Peloton raised its revenue outlook for the fiscal 2021 and expects $3.9 billion in total revenue, up from a prior $3.5 billion. Analysts have been calling for $3.63 billion. However, it looks like they're going to exceed it. As we go into the holiday quarter, it's expected that Peloton will hit their first $1 billion revenue. It's incredible what's going on. With such heightened demand, Amanda, for its products, Peloton has struggled to keep up. Customers have also reported delays in shipments and poor service. The company said on Thursday it expects it to be operating under supply constraints for the foreseeable future. We are rapidly scaling up our organisation to meet the extraordinary demand for our products, they said. We realise that some of our members have faced extended delays associated with receiving our products or having support requests fulfilled, CEO John Foley said in a letter to shareholders. Peloton shares whipsawed in after-hours trading, Amanda, and recently were down around 4.5%, having skyrocketed to more than 343% this year. However, the stock closed up on Thursday almost $7 at $126. Peloton with their subscribers are already up. Are also up 137%. People who pay the $39 for the workout classes from their Peloton equipment versus accessing the programs separately through a phone or tablet device, paying just $12.99. Peloton also expects to have 1.63 million connected fitness subscribers by the end of the fiscal second quarter, 2.17 million by the end of the fiscal year. It's amazing. The figures just keep going up and under. Analysts said that by September the 9th, Peloton Bike Plus, which was launched in September, costing $2,495, had exceeded their expectations again. Peloton said it hopes to meet normalized order to delivery windows for its bikes by the end of the calendar year, but that's they'll have to wait for the Bike Plus. It's it's causing some issues, Amanda, but you know what? We're all working out at home, so we shouldn't be surprised by the increase in demand. That's for sure. I don't know if you've got anything to add to that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely interesting. I mean, it's fantastic to see, where they're at. Obviously frustrating for those that are waiting. And, I guess it's just one of these things that, we speak about week after week as we hear more and more about the Peloton products and the, supply and chain issues that they're having. Look, I mean, he can only do what he can do. The company can only do what they can do. I just hope from a service service perspective, that they can continue to provide, because we've seen such amazing service. And I kind of feel somewhat responsible when folks are online and commenting about the poor service and what they get. I mean, I've been so fortunate in the couple times that I've had to call them in to get things fixed or to get some help that, they have done so, brilliantly, and I've had no issues. So I always get sad when I see that. We feel so committed to the product, right? You and I, and hence doing this show each week. Because we believe in it. So I think that it is interesting to see what will happen. I'm thrilled that the company is continuing to grow, and I think the rest will just kind of take place as we see that. Mark will also on the earnings call, the Peloton CEO John Foley did share that the upcoming lower cost tread would be available to customers to try in person in showrooms by Thanksgiving. They still haven't confirmed, though, the order dates yet for the US and Canada. The published timelines are still UK December 26, 2020. So you guys should have it, Christmas time. But for the US and Canada, they're saying, 2021. They're not giving a date. They haven't quite released a date yet. And of course, in Germany, they're saying later on in the year. There was mention, though, that they plan to share some more details and exact timelines within the next few weeks. Peloton knows that they will have a huge demand for the tread. There is no question that is going to be something that folks are going to rush out and want to purchase, just because it is so much different to the Tread Plus. From a cost perspective, there's no question that it has, that accessibility, for folks that really didn't want to spend the amount of money that the Tread Plus was. So I definitely think that we're going to see a huge surge. However, they did say that there will be a process of scaling up manufacturing. So there's a chance that new Peloton Tread customers could see similar delays that customers who are currently trying to order the new Bike Plus are seeing. So I think that's something that we're definitely going to have to keep our eye on as they start releasing dates of when one can start purchasing the bike, the treads. And then, of course, to see how long it's going to take for them to ship and get them.
Yeah, I mean, another interesting fact that came out the earnings call is that they're going to be ramping up the number of rides, Amanda. And they were talking about 2,400 in the next quarter. I mean, it's an amazing number. And also, they also stated, which I found really interesting, that we're riding or running almost twice as much as we were 12 months ago. And clearly that's because most people are working from home. So, interesting, really interesting facts.
Well, if nothing else, and I've told my friends that don't have, and believe it or not, Mark, I do have friends that don't have the bike.
I don't
know
believe
it's
that.
hard to believe. I'm telling you, I know it's hard to believe that I do have. But you know what? It's funny when people were posting, on social media as the pandemic was in full swing, and posting pictures of being large and sitting on the sofa or the couch and feeling sluggish. And I would say there's no reason for it. If you had your Peloton, you would be working out and you'd come out of lockdown and fit and slim and healthy, which so many of us have, right? I mean, the stories are just amazing as to how the product has helped so many people remain fit and healthy. And as you guys, I know you're going to talk about it in a bit, but as you guys go into lockdown 2.0, again, it's thank goodness for the for the bike and hopefully Tread, as who knows what's going to happen in the new year. Nobody has any idea as to when this pandemic will lighten up and things will go back to some normality. So thank God for our Peloton.
Absolutely. Keeping us sane, isn't it, Amanda? Keeping us sane. In other news, Amanda, Peloton have filed a lawsuit against the US government. It's quite interesting. It's going to the Court of International Trade. Peloton is trying to appeal that they're in a section where they have to abide by tariffs on products made in China that impact more than $500 billion worth of imports to the US. At the time of the lawsuit, Peloton states that they've paid more than almost $4 million in tariffs to the government without passing the price on to the consumer, which is great. Peloton is asking that they'll be excluded from future tariffs and be given a refund. Amanda will continue to provide updates on future developments for this and Peloton's other legal cases, which we've covered over the last few weeks as details emerge.
Yeah, it's funny because we are starting to see these little things coming out. When we started this show 14 weeks ago, it was all kind of rainbows and unicorns, and 14 weeks into this, we're now looking at things being a little bit different as these issues come up with the shipment and supply and demand chain, with the suing of the government for which I can understand. I mean, again, that's impacting their production as well. So it's very interesting to see things not quite as as rosy for Peloton as it had been. But these are all valid complaints and things that they should be taking up on. And I mean, that takes me into the next news story, Mark. As we mentioned last week, on the last week's episode, that they had been experiencing widespread streaming and buffering issues in both live and on-demand classes for riders both in the UK and in Germany. And that had been going on for several weeks. Peloton did officially recognize it as an issue on October 25th, stating 3 days later, Peloton posted that the issue had been identified with a statement on their website. And this is what they said: "We've identified an issue with Peloton classes in the UK and Germany, and we are working to resolve it. This may impact your ability to take live or on-demand classes. We appreciate your patience at this time, and we are working hard to get you back up and riding as quickly as possible." However, Mark, the last status was a week ago. It does seem that Peloton has now looked at fixing the problem. What we did have, though, which was really interesting, is, again, so community-based and so amazing how the community jump on these type of things. An active UK Peloton member that you know very well, Dov Katz, we've interviewed him in the past, whether it be on our show or the Puck Show.
Great guy.
Hashtag Dov. Yep, Dov Ops, brilliant guy. But what Dov did was he actually started a project to try to spot some trends and allow members to share their information among themselves on the issue. What Dove went on to do was create a spreadsheet that members can actually use to submit their data. The members provide their Peloton username and the closest airport. I guess that's how he pulls the information. The project is then able to download the members' workout history and gather the stats of any buffering that they've encountered in their class. Once the info is submitted to the spreadsheet, they'll get an email showing any workouts that they've taken since January 1st where they've had buffering. Just to add, though, as I had mentioned on just a little bit ago, Peloton did announce on Friday that they have sorted the issue, but they do have an official status, an outage page that one can check if you're still having issues, to find out whether there is an outage or a known issue. So they did jump on that. Again, it's wonderful to see the community rallying around each other. I know that folks were very frustrated, especially on milestone rides and things like that, where they're kind of hoping that they're going to have a great ride. But what Dov did was amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the amount of complaints that I saw in the puck community, which I am involved in, of course, was growing and growing. People were getting so frustrated. But yeah, great news that Peloton have hopefully found an answer to it. And Dove's he's into his tech, isn't he, Amanda? And it was incredible that he'd formulated this. And as I said to Chris Giles and with Chris Lewis recently, I'd love to get Dove back on to do a Pelo chat with us again in the future, and he can talk about this particular case, can't he?
Yeah, I think that would be wonderful, just to kind of get the perspective of what the information and the data that he, collected and what he found, because I think that'll be useful. I think that will be useful for folks. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, in other news, Amanda, as you alluded to earlier, Peloton UK announced yesterday that due to the UK lockdown taking place over the next month or so, Peloton showrooms across the UK will be temporarily closing. All of the showrooms in England will be closing until it is deemed safe to reopen. However, the showroom teams will be available for special virtual consultations of the Peloton Bike Plus and Bike. Peloton clarifies that they do plan to continue deliveries, repairs and service calls in the UK and England, and delivery people will be allowed to enter homes. However, customers may opt to choose for a threshold delivery instead if they wish. Finally, Peloton states that they will continue to produce new content with the UK and German instructors from the UK studio. While it continues to remain closed to the public, they will be allowed to continue to create new live classes during the lockdown. However, with the implementation of the 14-day quarantine that's just come into place, this may cause issues with the German instructors, Eric and Irene. Just keep an eye out on the schedule, I'd suggest, Amanda.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is just going to be a day by day, thing that we'll have to just keep an eye out to see what happens. But I am thrilled that we can still get some live classes out of the UK, because as you know, you and I love our UK instructors. So
you do, Amanda. You spend probably more time on the UK with UK instructors than you do the Americans. Is that right?
I do.
We love you being over here as well, Amanda. So continue.
I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Well, again, as we all know, Tuesday went dark in the Peloton world, as we had our election day here in the United States. So it was definitely a quiet day, as the studio and the showrooms were all closed and shut down for folks to be able to go out and do their voting. It was lovely to see, though, how the community came together. There were different Facebook groups all setting up lots of swarm rides for folks to have the opportunity to all ride together. And again, I say this time and time again, and for those folks that are watching, this is what it's all about, right? We're a community. We're the most amazing community out there. We call it an obsession, we can call it a craziness, but we're all out there to protect one another. And I have to say, through all the chaos that the states experienced over the last week, the community just put that beside themselves, and they rallied together. It didn't matter if you were red or blue, you were a Peloton community member, and that was amazing to see. I think we saw a lot of that from the instructors as well, on their social media, where there was really no great announcement of who they were rooting for, but rather just pulling the community together, which we found amazing. So I have to take my hat off to Peloton, to the instructors, and of course to us, the community, rallying around each other, being there as a support to one another. I know that Kendall O'Toole's mental ride was ridden a lot in the past week. Folks were definitely posting that they were doing that. So it was certainly an interesting week, and it'll be an interesting few months ahead of us. On less explosive news, Mark,
million miles away from what's going on in the news. Yeah, Amanda, Android users have more reasons to be excited this week. Just days after getting an exclusive new feature, the ability to filter classes not taken by you, Peloton is back with another much requested feature. Android users are now able to view workout graphs and charts of their workouts. This feature was previously available on iOS and web. However, not yet made it to Android. The following charts and graphs are now available: heart rate, output, cadence, resistance, and finally speed. Amanda, there's still a number of iOS-only features Android users continue to wait for, including outdoor run, GPS tracking, preloading classes for offline workouts, and others. However, Peloton appears to be putting the renewed energy into Android apps. So there's a chance those could see the light of day for Android in the near future. Let's hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that they have to kind of, for the complaints they're getting on the one side, they've got to increase the positivity on the other side, right?
Absolutely. And there's us talking. We've just ordered our new iPhones, haven't we?
Right. Exactly.
But I'm happy for our Android users as well. Okay, in other news, Amanda, Peloton have announced that they will be creating new musically themed Power Zone classes. Starting on November the 16th, Matt Wilper shared a teaser with the news on his Instagram today. The first 2 Power Zone music classes have been announced. 16th of November, Olivia Amato, 30-minute Power Zone classic ride, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And on the 18th of November, Matt Wilper's 45-minute Power Zone, hip hop ride. Amanda, as we know, musically themed classes aren't new for Peloton. You can find a wide variety of 80s rides, pop rides, country rides, hip rides, and other musically designed classes within the on-demand Peloton library. What's new today is those themes are coming to Power Zone classes specifically. Could this eventually mean there might be a featured artist series in the Power Zone rides? Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see, Amanda.
I am thrilled, Mark. We spoke about this last week. We speak about it often. I have not jumped on the Power Zone bandwagon. And it comes up, and I have to say, when I did see Matt post that on social media, it definitely did, pique my curiosity and said, well, I do like the pop rides. Maybe this is a way for me to focus more on the music and less on what I'm doing on the bike.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I'm actually really, really thrilled that we will have the opportunity of being able to, stream it by music type, as opposed to just getting on and feeling defeated because these Power Zones are so hard.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And lastly, Mark, to kind of wrap up the news, we always like to bring in the instructors and what they're doing in the news. There was, again, lots this week. My fave, Leanne Haynesby, was featured last Sunday in You Magazine and The Times in the UK with an amazing article about her road to spin class. And she's a spin class legend in that sparkly fitness bubble. We use it as a catchphrase now. No woman that I know that does Leanne's classes will ever say that they sweat again. It is all about Leanne's sparkly fitness bubble. She does share how the secret of her relationship with fellow instructor Ben Olders came to light when they went into lockdown earlier this year. And Leanne and Ben were doing their live rides from home in a very similar space. Us nosy Peloton community immediately had suspicions that something was going on, and it was so lovely in the way that they announced their relationship, and that the two are in fact a couple. They did share it on social media, and of course with us, their Peloton family. So Leanne goes on to talk about her dancing past and how she started as a young girl at 3 at the amazing Royal Ballet. I believe she did ballet for a long time, and then discovered that wasn't quite what she was into, and that certainly pop and hip hop was a little bit better for her, and went on to doing amazing backup dancing for some pretty big names, Katy Perry, to just mention one. So well done for Leanne. And again, she was just so gracious in the article. What I loved about the article, Mark, was that the author of that article is a Peloton enthusiast. And it was so cute to see how she said that she has interviewed famous people, I mean, the most amazing famous people in her time. But when she told her friends that she was interviewing Leanne Haynesby, her friends just went like goo-goo-eyed. They were so jealous and couldn't believe that she was actually going to be, interviewing Leanne. So I thought that was really amazing. And then what I loved, one of the last things that Leanne said in her interview was acknowledging us, the members, and how inspired she is is by so many of us. And there are such amazing stories in this Peloton community, as we all know. One was that she mentioned, who has become a Peloton friend to myself. So I was so thrilled to see her acknowledged in Leanne's article, was Buzzybird UK. Antonia is a cancer survivor, and not just once, but a few times. And Leanne went on to mention how she loves seeing Buzzybird UK, Antonia, on the leaderboard, and how strong and fit and healthy she is. And for me, it just validated what I feel about Leanne, in that she is so indebted to the community for supporting her, for being there for her, and it was just amazing. It was amazing to see.
Amanda, isn't it? Sorry to cut across you, but in regards to Buzzy Bird, I mean, Antonia, we did a 1,000th ride. I think were you on the ride this week?
Yes, I wasn't on it live, Mark. Unfortunately, it was one of those early 2:30 Hannah Franson rides.
Yeah.
But I did jump on that morning.
It was great. I mean, she's got such a great story, hasn't she? And she's such a lovely lady, very, very dear lady in the put community, for sure. And she's fantastic. But that article,
maybe we'll have a shout out in Pelo Shouts this week for her. I think maybe.
I think we will do. I think we will do. But that article you refer to was big news in the UK. I mean, it was in the Sunday Mail, which is, I think, the biggest.
So is that what it was? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the biggest selling newspaper in the United Kingdom. So to make that article, it was a magazine within the newspaper. But I mean, it was just an incredible story to read. I've read it 3 or 4 times, and the journalist was so pro Leanne, wasn't she? You could tell. And like you've already said, she's interviewed some really famous people, but she got such a buzz when she told her friends that she was going to be interviewing Leanne. I thought that was the highlight of that article. That was
well, talking about Leanne, Mark, Ben, who is close behind in being so active on social media and so pro the community as well. It's just, and then, you know what, I have to say, I think it is just the Peloton instructors as a whole. I love how they engage with the community, and so many of them do so frequently, which is amazing. But I do see that both Ben and Leanne really take the time and the effort in pretty much all of their social media posts to incorporate their community and how behind them we all are. But Ben actually announced that he is going to look at starting a podcast. And what his goal in the podcast is to look at interviewing inspirational people. What he was saying is that he's looking at discussing pivotal moments in their lives and how they can empower others. I am looking so forward to seeing this evolve and certainly becoming a regular thing. So that's something we really should look out for in Ben, in sharing this and hopefully having some fantastic people on.
Well, he put a call out, didn't he, Amanda? He actually asked for the community to come up with some names. I thought that was
let's
brilliant.
see who he can get.
I put forward you.
You did, Mark. Let's see whether I get caught up there, huh? That's so sweet. That's so sweet. I don't think I'm quite that inspirational to that many people. But we'll see what happens.
You are.
You're so kind. You're so kind. Talking about inspirational people, and there is nobody that's more inspirational than Ali Love. Ali Love went on to share with Pop Sugar her secret sauce that goes into making bike workouts. And again, somebody else that is so active on social media and shares so much with her community about all aspects of health and fitness and wellness and being part of a community. Ali did go on to share what goes into creating a Peloton class. And we certainly as the community don't get to see anything as far as what the back end of things go on. But she did say that there is a ton of hard work and thoughtfulness that she puts into filming, sometimes 4 to 8 workouts a week. So while we may only see her live on the bike 3 or 4 4 times, she goes on to record other classes and has to prepare for those. And there's a lot of work that goes into it, from making and creating playlists, to the class roadmaps, to looking into styles. She's always very stylish, on her rides. So definitely from that perspective, she says that she really has to focus and work hard on work hard on that. She does say that her process begins by zoning in on the vibe she wants to create for each class, and then she executes it with her vision, which is her secret sauce. And what is that? It's a mix of motivational words and music. So that was wonderful to get to read about what really goes on behind the scenes. And our goal still is to hopefully get a Peloton member on the show that we can chat, a Peloton instructor on the show that we can chat more about what goes on behind the scenes and what we're able to really get the nitty gritties. Because I think it has evolved so much from when they first started doing their rides, back in the early days, to today, where they have 3-point-something million folks that are on there and committed to riding with them. And we want to know what goes on and what the thought process is, as far as preparing for their ride.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. If we can get one of the instructors on one week, it'll be fantastic. But if it can't be an instructor, maybe somebody from Peloton. We're not fussy, are we, Amanda? We just want somebody from Peloton. That's what
we would love it.
For.
We would love it. We would absolutely love it, because I think the community would love it too. And
for sure.
And it's such fun to interview. So it's going to be such a fun interview.
And we're so pro Peloton. I mean, it should be a no-brainer, shouldn't it, Amanda? No-brainer.
Exactly. Something we'll work hard on, definitely. With that being said, Mark, just to finish up and wrap up, Jess Sims actually got to celebrate her 2nd Peloversary this past week. And we were really excited to see Jess has really branched out this past few months as she's taken on doing the bike boot camps. And that's been something really fun. We saw Jess a lot on the tread, and now she's jumped on the bike and is offering the bike boot camps, which I've said I've done and have been amazing. And I really like her. I just love Jess Sims. I think she's lovely. She really is lovely. And then lastly, just to wrap up, Chase Tucker got to celebrate a birthday this past week. And we always love to shout out to our birthday instructors. So happy birthday, Chase. Hope you had a wonderful birthday and are still celebrating like the true sport that you are. You're so fantastic. So that wraps it up for the news, Mark. Again, another jam-packed lot of information, right?
Don't we say it every week? But every week's the same, isn't it? And you think, where's the news coming from in the next week? But it does. And Chris Lewis keeps compiling it. Pelobuddy.com keeps, all the articles go up there every day or every other day. And it's just amazing, isn't it? But another great week in the news. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it this week. It's good news.
Peloton has added a new beta feature today to allow users to create group rides with friends, family, and teammates. This new feature is being called Sessions, and Peloton is promoting it as a limited time beta test. In today's video, we'll give you a demo of the new feature and show how to create your own group sessions. Before today, unless you were taking a live or encore workout, riders had no way to sync up start times of rides besides trying to make sure everyone in a group hits start at the same exact time. The new Sessions feature creates a virtual waiting room, allowing users to start their ride all at the same time. On the classes page of the Bike and Tread, Peloton now shows a list of upcoming recommended sessions that have riders in the virtual waiting room. If you join one with more than a minute left, you'll see a waiting screen. If you join one with less than a minute left, you'll jump straight into the intro of the class. Sessions are automatically created every 5 minutes, so there should always be one to take. The recommended sessions at the top of the screen reset every 5 minutes. Taking a sessions class works exactly like taking a live workout. Everyone's output starts at 0 and everyone's video and time are synced up. The one quirk to this is that even though it really is an on-demand class and other people have taken it, you cannot adjust your leaderboard filter to view anyone's past workouts on this class like you could on a normal on-demand workout. If for some reason a friend misses their 5-minute window to join the session before class starts, they are still able to jump in with you. The Friends Working Out Now pop-up has a new icon denoting which friends are taking a class as part of a session. If you join their workout from this screen, it jumps you to wherever in the class they are and you can finish the class with them. You can use this same feature to join a session of one of your leaderboard tag teammates. Although Peloton recommends some sessions you can join, you can always start your own. To do so, just pick any class in the on-demand library. If it is eligible to be a session, you'll see a new banner on the page when you open the class. After you click Start, you'll see a new splash screen, and that gives you two options. The large button will direct you towards creating a session. However, you are always able to bypass the virtual waiting room and immediately start your workout. The new Group Sessions feature is only available for rides, runs, and boot camp classes 20 minutes or longer. However, it doesn't appear to be available for all classes, and it's not clear yet what the criteria are. For example, Emma has two 20-minute classes that aired back-to-back on the same day. One of the classes has the Sessions feature available, and the other does not. However, shortly after this video was taken, the feature was turned on for the Emma class that was missing it before. This indicates Peloton might be manually going through and enabling it on a class-by-class basis. At this time, there does not appear to be a way to enable a session on a class that is missing the Sessions banner and icon, even if it is longer than 20 minutes. Peloton's new FAQ page for the feature calls it a limited time beta, so there's a chance it could disappear at any point. However, given the excitement people have over it already, we would be surprised if Peloton took it away. The page also states it is only available for the bike and tread, so iOS, Android, and other app users will unfortunately not be able to join in on any sessions. Please let us know in the comments if you have any questions about how the feature works or if there's anything we missed.
Let's get to know another person behind the leaderboard name in Pelo Chats.
We've got a really special guest on Pelo Chats for this episode. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a fellow administrator in the PUC community. I'd like to welcome Gareth Jones. Gareth, are you there?
Hi Mark, I'm here. Thanks for having me on tonight. I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be an awesome episode.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is, Gareth. And yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. It has been a bit difficult to get you onto one of these Pelo Chats. You're quite a shy person when it comes to video. Am I right, Gareth?
I am, yeah. I don't really like it. It's watching it back and hearing your own voice is never a good thing, is it? But you managed to twist my arm.
and you're very natural, I've got to say, and that's what I did say to you. So yeah, so just chill out, relax, and yeah, enjoy this. Enjoy the chat. So Gareth, tell us how you came across Peloton in the first instance.
So we actually got the Peloton bike in January 2018. I hadn't heard anything about it, if I'm honest. My husband, he was the one who found it. And basically, I kind of decided that it wasn't going to be a good thing and I wanted to put it outside, unbelievably, because we didn't have enough space in the house. So I was convinced it was going to be a clothes horse, wouldn't use it. And actually, when I took my first rides, I was just hooked from day one. Absolutely loved it. And off the back of that, we actually ended up moving house, unbelievably, because we had nowhere to put it. We had it in the dining room for a good, probably about 6 months, I reckon. And it was only small, couldn't really use the bike very much in there and stuff. But off the back of that, yeah, we decided to move house because we had to have a Peloton room. And obviously, there's so many Peloton rooms out there now that I really want to get a really, really good Peloton room like the loads of people out there.
Well, that's got to be a first, Gareth, for somebody to move house so they can get their Peloton bike in the house. Brilliant. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And I had to take it. It had to go up 3 flights of stairs to the new house as well. So the people who put it up there, I didn't do that. The people who moved it up there, it was pretty heavy, as we all know how heavy it is. So they weren't very happy. I
bet they weren't. Wow. And then, of course, you joined Peloton UK community. I don't know how long it's been. How long have you been in the community now?
Do you know what? It must actually be, I think it's 12 months.
I was going to say, it's got to be 12 months.
Halloween time. Yeah, I did the Halloween ride with Leanne, and it was around about probably a week before that, I think, that I joined as admin, as mod, first. You
joined as a mod, then you became administrator, and it's been a crazy ride, hasn't it? Up to I think we just reached 7.5, or about to reach 7,500 members, Gareth. And you know, because you're the gatekeeper, aren't you? Of course.
I am the official gatekeeper. Yeah. No one shall pass me who shouldn't pass. But no, it's been great. It's really, the last few months has just been insane. We're having 250 a week joining, so 1,000 over a month. It's been insane since lockdown, the numbers.
Staggering, absolutely staggering. And then, of course, recently, and again, you can tell the story, you set up the Yes to You crew in honour of one of our favourite instructors, certainly one of my favourites. I think she is my favourite instructor, Leanne Haynesby.
She is.
So tell us, she is. I love Leanne, absolutely love her. So tell us, I probably love her just as much as you do, maybe on an even. But tell us how you come to create that Facebook group.
So I think for me, my first ride was with Ali Love, but Leanne has just always been, since she started, I've absolutely just loved her rides and stuff. She's just so much fun, isn't she? So back at the end of July, the last community decided to shut up shop. So quite quickly after that, I decided to join and set up Yes to You crew. Reason for that? Basically, Leanne says it all the time, doesn't she? Yes to you, it's one of her phrases, and I kind of thought it felt really right to do that. And just from there, it's grown and grown. There was actually 2 groups that started at the same time, and very quickly we merged with Stephen on the other group. It's been absolutely fantastic, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and stuff. So very sparkling, very fun, all about positivity. There's no negativity there. It's just a great place to be if you want to just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the other major reasons why it's so popular is Leanne is such a nice person, isn't she? And I know that you we've got Amanda, my co-host, of course, who's one of your moderators in that Facebook group. And recently, you give Leanne a gift? Was it a few weeks ago or something? Was it for her birthday or some anniversary? Or I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was for her birthday. She's September, same as me. So we decided to reach out to the community. Obviously, we've been around since the end of July. So we put out a post thinking we might get a little bit of money, but it was unbelievable, the response on Yes to You crew. We had so many people donating money, and we got loads of gifts, some lovely earrings, and that was just so many things to talk about. She loves llamas, so we had loads of a cushion with 2 llamas on, a bee and an L for Ben and Leanne, obviously. And yeah, it was unbelievable. She loved it. She was really kind of blown away. But the best thing we did was we got a book. So we asked anyone on the crew to just put a photo onto the Facebook page, and we made a book of all their faces and stuff, and just like little comments and things. So yeah,
she was blown away with that, wasn't she?
She was, yeah.
Yeah, that was brilliant. So now, look, one of the other things that you're very, very active in both Facebook groups, but in the puck community, I think it's a few months ago now, you started one of our first challenges, didn't you, Gareth? And I took part in that, and it was loads and loads of fun, and it was very, very popular. And I remember us having a chat with a few of the other guys, and we were talking about, and you wanted to do around the world challenge, and I think we all said at the time, "Oh my gosh, that is going to be crazy. How are we going to do that?" So tell us all about it, because it started last week and it's hugely popular. So yeah, tell us all about it.
So first of all, we had Route 66. It's using a platform called My Mission, and you get a medal from it. Medals are absolutely fantastic. The feedback from that back in, I think, July, that was really good again. So I thought, let's go that extra mile, and we've gone with around the world. So it's 29,980 miles that we're doing. Loads of cities, starting in Vancouver, finishing in Vancouver. The list is just unbelievable of the cities that I've plotted for us to go to. Places I've always wanted to go to, places I have been. And we've got 210 people signed up for it now.
Wow. Which
has been, again, brilliant. And yeah, we started last week. We've gone a few hundred miles now, so let's see how we get on.
How many groups, Gareth? How many?
There's 7 groups.
Teams, I should say, should I?
Yeah, there's 7 teams. We went with Explorers for the theme for it, so we've got all based on that sort of Explorers theme names and stuff. So yeah, 30 in each group, 7 teams, so 210 in total, and yeah, a lot of miles to ride. But we've got 80 days because the theme is around the world in 80 days. I'm sure we'll probably, after last time Route 66, we I think some people want the teams. We planned to do it in, was it 4 weeks, Mark? And one of the first teams did it in 5 days.
It was bizarre, wasn't it? It was such a crazy time. I've never ridden so much in my life, and I probably haven't since. But yeah, so what's your gut feeling? Do you think it'll be a lot less than 80 days, or do you think it'll be thereabouts? What are you thinking?
We've learnt a lot from Route 66, so we've made it harder than it was for Route 66. The thing is, people don't realise how much mileage you do. We had people who were just putting their Peloton bike and moved it in front of their TV just so they could sit and ride for hours and stuff. So because you can do a scenic ride, it's a little bit different. But I think we'll probably have a team or two that might finish quick. But when we plotted it with the sign up, we made sure that we've got a variance of mileage of people in the team, and then we can kind of do the lucky draw on that, and hopefully it should be better. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're gonna track it through the next few weeks, and we'll have some updates, Gareth, I'm sure. And also, I think it's probably worth saying that throughout the many Facebook groups that there are within the world of Pelo Buddy TV around the world, there's lots and lots of challenges going on. So if you're watching this Pelo chat and you would like us to cover or mention your challenge wherever you are, then email us, contact us directly, and let us know. But yeah, it's been great having you on, Gareth. And I think one of the things we do, as you know, I know you watch actively every week. You know that we do something called a descent and recovery, where I'm going to ask you a number of questions, quick fire questions, over a 60-second period. So are you up for that, Gareth?
Yeah, definitely. Just to say, Mark, as well, the challenge around the world, we're actually raising money for a great charity, Mind. So they support mental health across the UK and stuff.
Of course.
We have got a Just Giving page out there as well if anyone wants to donate for it. But fantastic charity.
It is.
With lockdown, I think a lot of people have really struggled, haven't they, with their own mental health and stuff. So if anyone wants to donate, that'd be great as well. Yeah.
Great call, Gareth, and I'm sure that everyone will do their little bit towards that charity. It's a great charity. So yeah, let's go with descent and recovery.
Let's do this.
Okay, so here we go. 60 seconds, Gareth. Take your time, or don't take your time. Up to you. So we'll start. So favourite instructor?
Leanne, of course.
Couldn't be anyone else, could it, Gareth?
If I'd have stuttered and said somebody else, that would be trouble, wouldn't it? So
you'd have been in big trouble. High cadence or high resistance?
Definitely high resistance. I'm not a fan of high cadence.
Early bird rider, or are you a night owl rider?
Bit of a mix, I'd say. Sometimes in the summer I'm early, in the winter I'm definitely later.
Okay. Meditation or strength training? Do you do either or both?
I do a little bit of strength, bit of meditation. I probably need to do a lot more strength. So going forward, we're going to say strength.
I'd agree with you on that. I need to do more strength training. Live or on-demand rides, which you like most?
Definitely live. I love a shout out. You can get a shout out. It's the best feeling is getting all them high fives as well.
Absolutely. Do you remember your first class that you took?
Yeah, it was an Ali Love ride that I took, a 30-minute one. Can't remember what it was, but Ali Love. And do you know what? I actually don't really do Ali Love rides anymore compared to I used to. So I think I've kind of gone Leanne and Ben more, but Ali's great as well, isn't she?
Great answers, Gareth. Yeah, we didn't get all the questions in, but you answered them very well, and probably very similar to the way I would answer them. So got a lot in common there, mate. So one of the important questions we always have to ask at the end of Pelo Chats is, what's your leaderboard name?
So my leaderboard name is #FunkyTastic.
Can't forget that, can you? Yeah, and get ready for loads of high fives. You get loads of high fives anyway, so you're very, very popular. But yeah, maybe even more popular now, mate.
I love it. Thanks.
Yeah, so thanks very much for coming on, Gareth. It's been a real pleasure, and we're going to be watching with interest. I certainly am, and over the next 80 days or so, we'll get some updates, and maybe we'll have on you again, or maybe the next time you come on, maybe Amanda can interview and chat with you. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be lovely. Yeah, definitely do an update after sort of Christmas. See how we're getting on the Around the Wheel challenge.
Wow, it's amazing it's going to go on that far, isn't it? But it's a long, long way. Absolutely.
Over Christmas and New Year, so that was part of the reason for doing it, to keep us accountable over Christmas and New Year.
Brilliant. Well, thanks again, Gareth. Thanks for coming on, mate. And yeah, I'll speak soon. Cheers.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye.
It's time to celebrate our fans' milestones with Pelo Shouts.
We've got Spider Lady with 600 rides. Oh yeah.
Fuzzy Bird UK, I see you. 1,000 rides today.
We've got a big Garth Sod. Happy 550. Congrats.
Did you hit a milestone this week and get a shout out by your favorite instructor? Don't forget to let us know.
Another busy week, Mark. Certainly a lot of information. And for me, the announcement of the sessions, that they're going to be looking at doing that as an option has just been an amazing new feature. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to using that. I think it's going to be a really useful feature, Amanda. Yeah, and I enjoyed chatting with my old buddy Gareth Jones in Pelo Chats. We had some laughs.
Good old Funky-tastic. He is just a scream.
Isn't he?
So I'm so pleased that you got to interview Gareth. Oh, what a love bug. I'm so glad. That's awesome. Well, everybody, thank you once again for joining us. It really has been a wonderful show. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed presenting it to you. Of course, we tell you every week, if there's some things that you'd like to know, anything that you'd like us to change or do, please don't hesitate to share comments with us, whether it be on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or shoot us a message. We'd love to know if there's anything that you'd like to see. So from me in the States, bye for now.
And from me in the UK, bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your unofficial resource for everything Peloton. By the community, for the community. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.